You took my only food! Now I'm gonna starve!
Got you!
In every TV show or after-school special you've ever seen, the characters in the show are usually pretty happy people. They're goofy, funny, have solid relationships, and everything in their life follows a clean schedule. Characters are never sad or angry for no reason. They never have off days without cause, and they never snap at their friends or family unless something has happened to them previously in the plot to show the audience why they'd be hostile. As kids, we never really think about these things, but I do feel that is one of the main reasons as why, to me, even as a 9-year-old kid watching these shows, the world that I was witnessing always felt so artificial. I always think that's what drew me to movies like Silver Linings Playbook and The Social Network, even when I was too young to fully grasp all the complex emotions and themes that those films offered. I wanted more mature entertainment, with movies like The Hurt Locker, which my dad wanted me to see when I was 9, scared the piss out of me, so dramas really grabbed my attention. As soon as I entered my sophomore year of high school, unlike all of those after-school specials, I started to feel sad and angry for no apparent reason. And the fact that there was no cause or origin for these horrible things was the thing that made me the most upset. And that's not to say I'm never sad for a reason, but I also have found that I'm more susceptible to feeling awful about hardships than the people around me, and choose to dwell on them without being able to just let my problems go and move on. Even at this point in my life, I have incredibly off days, where I just want to hide in a closet and watch True Detective for hours on end instead of doing any of my real responsibilities. When these feelings first came to me, I knew what depression and anxiety were, but I knew there was also no way I could have these things. I had friends and family with way worse anxiety and depression than I was dealing with, so there's no way that I could even compare myself to the things that they were going through. I also didn't want to use any of these feelings as a way to get attention. I wanted to ignore them. However, I am in one of those especially horrible days at the time of writing this. A day so off and so bad for literally no reason that I'm compelled to make this video, roughly 4 years after first realizing these feelings. I'm not making this for attention. I have under 10 subscribers. I don't think I could if I wanted to. But on one of these off days, I was watching an interview from writer Dan Harmon about his depression. And the thing he says that cures his depression is to just write it down and see what sticks and what falls away. I don't think depression can even come close to being cured, but even if it helps, I'll write it down to give it a shot. I think I love movies like Paris, Texas, and Anomalisa because they have a way of showing that these feelings happen to other people, not just me and not just you, but they also show that these problems aren't just solved in a 20-minute span. I find myself envious of people in films and TV with happy endings. They just get all of their problems solved, and while sometimes that makes for an excellent end to a film, I don't have that luxury, because there aren't happy endings, not in real life. Life is a series of hills and valleys. Sometimes life can be almost euphoric, but sometimes it can feel backwards, with me having to work for days and days to accomplish something, only to have it all explode in my face. And that's not how it should work, but life finds a way. There have been a lot of days recently where it feels like my problems are a boss that just keeps healing himself when you get close to beating him. You work as hard as you can to fix a solution, and yet nothing works. You're back at square one. Game over. I really just don't feel like I have the energy to get out of bed some mornings, and to be honest, some days I couldn't really tell you why I do. I find myself comparing what I have to everyone else.
Marcus and I even go to the same barber, although I have a slightly better haircut.
Do I have a better social life, better relationships, more success, more popularity? Hell, sometimes I even wonder if I know more about movies than the person sitting next to me. Like, that really matters. I rarely ever feel good enough to be a part of the world I live in. The worst thing is, I don't really have a solution. I'm 18 years old, struggling every day, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that if you try your hardest and just be yourself, everything will work out. Because there's no way I could guarantee that. However, I will say I can guarantee that nothing will work out if you just accept sadness. Don't just be yourself. Be the best version of yourself that you can be. Take risks. Step outside your comfort zone, and if you do that, you might just be happy. Life can be so incredibly, stupidly hard, but if you cling to the people and the things that make you happy, life can be bearable. Don't just give up. Work to improve yourself, and if you do that, I promise you that you will improve the world around you. I'm a firm believer in the philosophy that if you put positive energy into the world, you will get positive energy back. So hey, maybe those after-school specials have some point after all.